Hi there, Don here. Welcome back. Please do subscribe to the channel if you like to learn a few bits and pieces all about Salesforce. What are we talking about today? We're going to look at a few of the high-level benefits of using Salesforce. This is something that we used to have to talk about all the time when I worked as an account executive at Salesforce for 3 years. So these are just a number of them, and these are probably the most common ones I would have come across whenever I was speaking to customers and they tell us some of the benefits that they're experiencing while using the tool. So let's jump right in. Number one, a quicker route to revenue. This is definitely more focused on your sales department. And what do I mean by that? A thing that a lot of people who use Salesforce find is that you're plugging into a sales process. That's a big part of what Salesforce will do for your company. And the image I have here, it's actually an opportunity. It's a screenshot of an opportunity that we're running in Salesforce. And you can see across the top there's a sales path. You know, lead comes in, let's qualify it, put the value in front of them, let them make a decision, then negotiate the contract and close it off. So it's a sales process. And once you start going out and hiring salespeople, they'll adapt this process in their day-to-day and how they go out and sell for your company. What we'd always find whenever people start using Salesforce as a tool is that it gets to the revenue a bit quicker. It's a scalable way for anyone in your company to say, right, here's the lead, let's qualify, negotiate, and then close it off. So it's a repeatable sales process that you can use, and this will result in getting deals closed quicker, and of course getting revenue in the door a lot faster. So it has an impact on your bottom line. So number two, this is something that would often happen if you've got a team and say you're running Excel, and for whatever reason, me as the sales rep for the company, I know where I keep all of that information in Excel about that one particular customer that I always deal with. It's in SharePoint or it's on my Drive or wherever it is. I know where that is. That information lives in my head. But then I go off on holidays in July or August and I actually didn't tell anyone where that information was because I'm the one who usually deals with it. And a message will come in from a customer to say, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Salespeople, I'm looking for an invoice, I'm looking for a bill, I'm looking for whatever it is, that piece of information. And if this is just living in someone's head and it's on a SharePoint and they know where it is, but no one else does, employees can't jump in to help each other out. So, it's one of those things that it's all within a centralized place, so finding the information is a lot quicker. So if people aren't around, if they're on holidays, if they're out sick or whatever it might be, there's a single source of truth there, so you can jump in and help your teammates. Of course, this has a benefit because you keep your customers happy, they get the information they want, they go back about their day, and then they'll come back to you when they're looking for future stuff. So it's that team building element that's a huge benefit for customers. Number three, information now belongs to the company, and this is kind of another side bit to the previous benefit, is that we'd see this all the time, that somebody might work at your company for 3, 4, 5 years or maybe even longer, but the day might come where they're no longer going to work for your company, and previously all the information they had about customers and where they're at and where deals are at and whatever, they might have that stored on their own drive, they might have it on their computer, they might have saved it in the cloud somewhere, but they may or may not have shared that with everybody else in the company. So me as an employee, if I decide to leave, more often than not, that information goes with me. It's not actually shared internally. So a key benefit of using Salesforce, as long as everything is tracked on the tool, is that information now belongs to the company. If your employees are inputting all the information and you're tracking all of your orders and your invoices and all of the activity history, that's now information belonging to the company. So if I take off and I go to a competitor or whatever it is, the company still has that information. So as soon as somebody new comes to work for you, you can train them up in the tool and say, here's all the information you need to know about these customers, and you're not trying to find it off someone's hard drive or a PC that was thrown out when that person left. So yeah, the idea of the information now belongs to the company. Huge benefit, of course, to any organization. Another really good benefit of using Salesforce is the scalability, and we'd always hear this from customers. I remember there was one customer I used to deal with, and he knew that for every 150 to 200 grand that they made in sales, he could go out and hire another salesperson. And their method was more salespeople equals more business, which means we're going to grow the company Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, the way that he was able to scale the business was he'd go out and hire a new salesperson. He would train them on the way that they sell, which is using Salesforce, and then they just give them a license. So anyone with a bit of sales experience could go in and say, this is the process, this is how I follow it, and this is how we're going to go out and make more sales. So what does that mean? Well, it's scalable. You can hire more people, train them, and then they all follow the same process. And this will be the same for your customer support team. You know, tickets are coming in, requests are coming in, you know, customers want information from you. This is the process of working them all the way through until they get a resolution. Again, you hire these people and you train them, and then they can automatically become part of your customer support team, or you can also redirect a lot of those queries so customers can self-serve by giving them articles and information that they need. And then similarly with your marketing team, you might have a number of people in the marketing team that are contributing to the marketing content that you're putting out to generate more leads for your business. And once they start using some of the marketing automation tools, you can start delegating, well, this person is going to work on email campaigns, this person is going to work on content, but they can all collaborate within Salesforce and track the metrics to see what is driving the most impact for your marketing efforts, and then pushing that into sales and of course into your customer support as well. So it's a way of scaling for the company, as all you have to do is just train more people on the tool. And then last but not least, but this is probably one of the most important things, and I've seen this myself as somebody who hasn't worked, has been at companies that don't use Salesforce and companies that do use Salesforce, but there's a lot of effort and time goes into, say, building a quote or getting back to someone with an invoice. If you have all of that stuff tracked on Salesforce and you have it set up correctly with some automations firing off in the background, you can get a quote out to a customer very quickly. We saw this time and time again in Salesforce that customers would get a query from a customer, they want to do business with them, but it would take them weeks, if not months, to turn around a quote to them because what they were selling was complex. So if you view it as complex in just getting a quote back to someone, well, how easy is it for your customer to buy from you? So there's a lot of time to be saved by setting up things within Salesforce to say, this is what the task we need to do, this is how we're going to automate it in the background, and then this is what we're going to send to the customer. And that could be for your sales team sending out a quote, that could be for your customer support team sending out a knowledge article, or that could be for your marketing team looking for some good content to add into a new marketing campaign. So there's a lot of time that you can give back to your employees by simply using the Salesforce platform. So those are some of the key benefits. Quicker route to revenue, employees can support one another, the information now belongs to the company, you can scale your sales service and marketing team, and of course, all the while giving time back to all of your employees. And all of these help drive a real business impact for your company. If you're into this sort of thing, please do subscribe to the channel. I like to update this channel as often as I can with more content all about Salesforce and what you can expect from the tool. If there's anything you'd like to see in the next video, please do add that in the comments section below. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.